Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old as gold, but these Jefferson nickel 5-cent coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Number 1. Today, we're diving deep into the world of numismatics once again, and this time, we're traveling to the heart of the United States Mint to uncover the mystery and value behind one unassuming coin, the 1990 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark. At first glance, it might just look like your everyday pocket change, the kind of coin you'd toss into a parking meter or forget at the bottom of a couch cushion. But what if I told you that this 5-cent coin could actually be worth thousands, yes, thousands of dollars today? Before you start checking your spare change jar, let's explore why this particular nickel has become a sensation among collectors, and how a simple design can hide a world of history, rarity, and yes, serious value. Now, the Jefferson nickel has been around since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It's one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history, and the version we're talking about today, minted in 1990 in Philadelphia, is part of that iconic legacy. These coins were meant for everyday use. Tens of millions were produced. So, what makes this one so special? Let's rewind for a moment to look at what this coin really represents. On the front, or obverse, you'll see the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. Designed by Felix Schlag, his calm, determined profile has graced the 5-cent coin for decades. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's easy to overlook, but don't let that fool you. Turn the coin over, and there it is, Monticello, Jefferson's beloved estate in Virginia. A classical building, solid and symmetrical, nestled at the center of the reverse design. It's been part of the coin's identity from the beginning. But what makes the 1990 P Jefferson nickel different is not in what you see, it's in the details you might miss. You see, collectors are always looking for something rare. Something unexpected. Something that slipped past the rigid quality controls of the mint. And the 1990 P nickel has just that, a small batch of coins that were struck with extreme sharpness, near perfect luster, and flawless surfaces. These are coins that were never intended to circulate. Coins that somehow survived the chaos of daily use and emerged decades later in gem condition, but that's not all. Some of the most valuable examples show signs of unusual minting, subtle doubling in the letters or digits, microscopic variations in the design, or errors in the strike. These are the hidden treasures. To the average person, they're invisible. But to a trained eye, they're golden, and then there's the condition. Coin grading is a science in itself, and the Jefferson nickel is no exception. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. And those that reach the upper levels, say, MS66, MS67, or the elusive MS68, are few and far between. A 1990 P nickel that's been preserved in such high grade can leap in value astronomically. Now you might be wondering, how does someone even end up with one of these coins? Well, that's the magic of numismatics. Sometimes, it's pure luck. A forgotten roll of nickels in a drawer. A childhood coin collection passed down through generations. A flea market find. 1 minute it's just 5 cents, and the next, it's a rare piece worth more than most people make in a month. Collectors all over the world are hunting for this coin, especially in pristine, mint state condition. It's not just about the metal. It's about history. It's about rarity. And it's about the thrill of discovering something valuable where nobody thought to look. So, what would it be like to hold a nickel from 1990, the same kind used by millions every day, and know that it's one of the rarest in existence? To know that this tiny piece of metal, barely 2 inches across, is a hidden gem among billions? Well, are you ready for it? Because one example of the 1990 P Jefferson nickel, preserved in near-perfect condition, sold for a staggering $68,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $68,000. For a coin most people wouldn't look at twice. So, before you empty out your change at the vending machine or cash in that jar of coins sitting on your shelf, take a closer look. That nickel might just be your ticket to an incredible discovery. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story of the 1990 P Jefferson nickel and want more content on rare and valuable coins hiding in plain sight, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell. You never know what treasure we'll uncover next. Until then, happy hunting, and may your next coin be the one worth a fortune. Number 2. Where pocket change turns into treasure, and ordinary coins reveal extraordinary stories. If you've ever wondered whether the nickels in your couch cushions or that jar of change in your kitchen might be worth more than face value, then buckle up, because today we're shining a spotlight on a coin you might have seen 1,000 times without ever realizing its hidden potential. That's right, we're talking about the Jefferson nickel from the year 1992, minted in Philadelphia. At first glance, it's just a regular 5-cent piece. Something you'd toss into a toll booth, or use for exact change at a gas station. But as you're about to find out, not all nickels are created equal, and this one, in the right condition, is far from ordinary. Let's rewind to 1992, a year filled with big headlines. Bill Clinton was elected president, Windows 3.1 was running on millions of computers, and grunge music was changing the sound of the decade. Meanwhile, at the Philadelphia Mint, machines were busy producing millions of Jefferson nickels, coins with no fanfare, no special commemorations, just another year of standard issue currency. Or so it seemed. The Jefferson nickel, as many of you know, has been around since 1938. Its obverse side features the profile of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag. It's a classic look, dignified, simple, and distinctly American. On the reverse side, you'll find Jefferson's home, Monticello, a symbol of his architectural mind and his connection to the ideals of liberty and democracy. And now, fast forward 3 decades, and here we are, collectors and hobbyists all around the world are scouring these old coins, looking for hidden gems. So, why has the 1992 P. Jefferson nickel captured the attention of coin experts, dealers, and collectors? The answer lies in 3 powerful words: condition, rarity, and timing. Let's start with condition. In the coin world, condition is everything. Most coins from the early 90s went straight into circulation. They passed from hand to hand, collected scratches, lost their shine, and were beaten down by time. Finding a 1992 P nickel in average condition is easy. But finding one in flawless, mint-state condition? That's a different story altogether. Graded on a scale from 1 to 70, coins that hit grades like MS66, MS67, and especially MS68, are unbelievably rare. These are coins that somehow avoided the wear of circulation, survived untouched for decades, and still shine with their original mint luster. Now, add in the element of rarity. While millions were minted, only a handful have been found in near-perfect condition. Some coins may also contain subtle mint errors, a slightly off-center strike, a weak die, a doubled image, or small imperfections that occurred during the minting process. These quirks make a coin even more collectible and drive up the value dramatically. And finally, timing. In recent years, the demand for top-grade Jefferson nickels has grown. More collectors are looking to complete perfect sets, and they're willing to pay a premium for coins that fit that high standard. This drives competition at auctions and raises the market value for coins that were once overlooked. So what does this mean for you? It means that if you happen to own a 1992 P. Jefferson nickel, especially one that looks unusually sharp, clean, and well preserved, you might be sitting on something far more valuable than 5 cents. You don't need a suitcase full of silver to be a coin collector. You just need to know what to look for. Examine the details. Is the strike clean? Are the steps on Monticello fully visible? Is there minimal wear on Jefferson's cheek and jawline? Does the surface shine with that original mint brilliance? Because every now and then, someone stumbles across a coin that looks just a little too perfect, and they discover that it's not just rare, it's valuable beyond belief. And now, for the moment of truth. In recent years, a pristine example of the 1992 P. Jefferson nickel, professionally graded and certified in near-perfect condition, sold at auction for an unbelievable $65,000. Yes, you heard that right. $65,000 for a 5-cent coin. That's the magic of numismatics. That's why people collect, study, and treasure coins. Because what seems ordinary to most could be extraordinary to someone who knows what to look for. So the next time you're about to drop some change into a vending machine, or cash in your piggy bank, take a second and look a little closer. You might just be holding history. Or even better, holding something that could change your life. Number 3. We're diving into a coin that's often ignored, dismissed, and completely forgotten, yet it holds one of the most shocking secrets in modern American coinage. The unassuming 1993 P. Jefferson nickel. Now, this coin doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary. It has no special markings at first glance. It's not made of silver or gold. There's no glittering shine that screams rare. But just beneath its worn surface lies a story of overlooked value, hidden rarity, and one stunning auction moment that caught the attention of the entire numismatic community. Let's rewind the clock for a second. It's 1993. Bill Clinton is in the White House, Jurassic Park is blowing minds in theaters, and the World Wide Web is just beginning to spread into American homes. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, the U.S. Mint is producing tens of millions of 5-cent coins, each stamped with a simple P to mark its origin. These were mass-produced workhorses of the American economy, handed over at diners, tucked into vending machines, flipped at ballgames. No one gave them a second thought. They were everywhere. They were common. But, as any serious collector will tell you, sometimes rarity hides in plain sight, and that's exactly the case with the 1993 P. Jefferson nickel. At first, let's talk about what you're actually looking at. On the obverse side, you've got the familiar profile of Thomas Jefferson, America's third president and author of the Declaration of Independence. His image has been on the nickel since 1938, with only minor tweaks throughout the decades. The design was created by Felix Schlag, a German-born sculptor whose work lives on in every pocket of America. Flip the coin over, and there's Monticello, Jefferson's estate. A classical, domed masterpiece nestled in Virginia's countryside. Simple, elegant, and an icon in American architecture. But don't let the comb design fool you. What lies in this particular year's mintage can shake even the most seasoned collector. So what makes the 1993 P nickel so interesting? It's not just the design, it's the condition and rarity of perfection that elevates this coin. While most nickels were battered by circulation and lost their fine details to time, a select few survived in near flawless shape. We're talking about nickels that have never been touched, never seen a cash register, and somehow remained crisp, detailed, and sharp for over 30 years. That alone is impressive. But there's another twist: minting anomalies. Some 1993 P nickels have been discovered with extremely sharp strikes, almost proof-like qualities, or rare minting errors. These could include doubling of letters or numbers, die cracks, or unusually weak reverse strikes. These quirks, though small, are what collectors live for. They turn an average coin into something exceptional, and that exception turns into serious value. And here's where it gets truly exciting: the coin grading world operates on a 70-point scale, with 70 being a perfect coin, untouched, unmarked, and flawless under magnification. Most circulated coins fall somewhere in the 40s or 50s. But the 1993 P. Jefferson nickel? In extremely rare cases, a few examples have surfaced in ultra-high grades like MS-67 and MS-68. These coins are like the holy grail of nickels. Only a tiny number of them exist, and competition for them is fierce. Collectors, investors, and even museums want a piece of that rarity, and they're willing to pay big for it. Now, if you're sitting there wondering, how can a 5-cent coin possibly be worth more than a Rolex or a vacation home? The answer is simple: scarcity and condition. Coin collectors are obsessed with finding coins that are not only rare but also untouched by time. If you can find a 1993 P nickel in near perfect condition, clean surface, full steps on Monticello, no nicks or scratches, and incredible eye appeal, you could be holding something extraordinary. So before you spend your next nickel without a second glance, check the date. Look for that little P mint mark. Inspect the details. Because somewhere out there, a 1993 P nickel is hiding in plain sight, and only a few lucky people will realize what they have in time. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. A pristine example of the 1993 P. Jefferson nickel, professionally graded, verified for condition and rarity, once sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $60,000. Yes, you heard that right. $60,000 for a coin most people wouldn't look twice at. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not always about old silver dollars or flashy gold coins. Sometimes, it's the modest, modern nickels, the ones you least expect, that turn out to be the rarest of all. If you've made it this far, thank you for joining me on this journey through American coin history. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss more stories of valuable coins hiding in your change. Until next time, check those pockets. Number 4. We're talking about the 2000 D Jefferson nickel. A coin that's younger than many of the classics we cover, yet somehow holds one of the most surprising values in modern American coinage. Let's set the scene. The year is 2000. The world is stepping into a new millennium. Y2K fears have just passed. DVDs are the hottest thing in entertainment. The internet is growing fast. And in Denver, Colorado, at the United States Mint, machines are hard at work striking millions of Jefferson nickels with a small d on the front to mark their origin. These nickels were never intended to be rare. They weren't made as limited editions. There were no commemorative markings, no silver or precious metals. Just simple, everyday 5-cent coins, but here's the twist: every now and then, even the most ordinary coin becomes extraordinary through a combination of condition, scarcity, and a little bit of minting magic. Let's talk about design for a moment. The Jefferson nickel has remained mostly unchanged for decades. The obverse side features the left-facing profile of Thomas Jefferson, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence and America's third president. His expression is calm, thoughtful, a fitting image for the man who shaped the early republic. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted by the clean lines of Monticello, Jefferson's historic estate. Simple, symmetrical, and instantly recognizable, it's one of the most iconic reverse designs in American coinage. But while the design may look standard, not all 2000D nickels were created equal. The vast majority of these coins went straight into circulation. They were used for coffee machines, passed through toll booths, jingled in pockets, and scratched their way across countertops. And with that came wear, scratches, fading detail, the usual life cycle of a working coin. Yet somewhere, in the chaos of mass production, a few special coins slipped through the cracks, untouched, uncirculated, preserved. And those are the coins that get collectors very excited. Imagine this: a 2000D nickel that still looks brand new. No scratches. No discoloration. No signs of wear. Just crisp, brilliant luster. A sharp strike. Every detail of Jefferson's hair, every line of Monticello's steps, perfectly visible. That's where the game changes. Collectors call these top-tier examples mint state coins, and they're graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin that hits the 65 mark is already impressive. But if it reaches MS67 or higher, especially for a modern nickel, you're entering elite territory. But condition isn't the only factor. In rare cases, some of these nickels were minted with unusual characteristics: slight doubling of the lettering, die clashes, weak reverse impressions, or off-center strikes. These errors, though accidental, make the coin incredibly unique. And in the coin collecting world, unique means valuable. And now, let's talk about availability. Although the US Mint produced millions of these 2000D nickels, the number that still exists today in flawless condition, or with rare errors, is shockingly low. And when a coin is both hard to find and in pristine shape, the value doesn't just increase, it skyrockets. You might be asking yourself, how would I even know if my 2000D nickel is special? Great question. Look for sharp edges, full steps on Monticello, and clean, unbroken surfaces. Compare it to a circulated one, the difference is night and day. And if you see something odd, like doubled letters or unusual spacing, you might be holding an error coin. So let's say you find one. You send it off to be graded. It comes back as a top condition coin with eye-popping quality. What then? Well, this is the part you've been waiting for, because one of these seemingly ordinary 2000D Jefferson nickels, preserved in near-perfect mint state condition, certified and authenticated, didn't sell for a few hundred, or even a few thousand. It sold for $55,000. Yes, you heard that right. $55,000. For a nickel minted in the year 2000. That's the wild, unpredictable, and thrilling side of coin collecting. You never know what you might have until you look a little closer. So, before you toss out that handful of change or cash in those rolls of coins, take a moment to check. Especially if you come across a 2000D nickel. Because under the right conditions, that small coin could lead to a life-changing discovery. Number 5. We're going to take a deep look at a coin most people would walk right past, the 2003 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, this might seem like just another coin from your loose change pile. But as we dig deeper, you'll see how this humble piece of metal has become a hidden prize for collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. Let's start with the basics. The Jefferson nickel has been a fixture in American currency since 1938. Its long history makes it one of the most recognizable and widely used coins in the U.S. monetary system. In 2003, the design hadn't yet undergone the changes that would come in 2004 and 2005 with the Westward Journey series, so it was still holding onto its classic look. On the obverse side of the coin, we see the enduring portrait of Thomas Jefferson. His calm expression, his unmistakable profile, and that sense of timeless dignity, all captured in the design by Felix Schlag. Jefferson's face had been on the nickel for over 6 decades by then, but the 2003 version was one of the last to use this traditional design before big changes came the following year. On the reverse side, of course, is Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. With its clean lines and domed roof, It's more than just a building, it's a symbol of Jefferson's intellect, vision, and legacy. But what makes the 2003 P nickel more than just a 5-cent piece? Well, here's where things get interesting. While the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins and they were circulated across the country, only a microscopic number were preserved in top-tier condition. We're talking about coins that look like they were frozen in time. No wear, no scratches, no fading. Just pristine surfaces, razor-sharp edges, and full design details that leap out under magnification. And for collectors, that level of perfection is gold. Let's talk coin grading for a second. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS, mint state, grades starting from 60 upward. MS 65 is impressive. MS 66 is rare. But a 2003 P nickel graded at MS 67 or higher? That's a unicorn. Combine that kind of condition with its position in the last years of the original Jefferson design, and you've got a recipe for collector obsession. And then there's another twist: errors and varieties. Some 2003 P nickels have surfaced with subtle but important minting anomalies. These could be die clashes, doubling in the letters or numbers, or even misaligned strikes. These aren't flaws, they're quirks of the minting process that turn a regular coin into a one-of-a-kind specimen. And when it comes to value, uniqueness adds fuel to the fire. But perhaps the biggest reason this coin has become so desirable is because it's right on the edge of modern and vintage. It's new enough to still be found in pocket change, but old enough that finding a flawless one is already difficult. It's that rare sweet spot where timing, rarity, and condition align. So how do you know if your 2003 P Jefferson nickel is one of the rare ones? Start by checking for that tiny P mint mark, just to the right of Jefferson's ponytail. Next, look at the details. Is Jefferson's face sharply defined? Can you see all the steps of Monticello clearly, without wear or blurring? Does the coin still have its original luster, as if it just left the mint? And finally, do you notice anything strange, doubling, odd spacing, or light design distortions? If so, you might just be looking at a very special coin, because as of recently, a 2003 P Jefferson nickel, one that was professionally graded, certified in near-perfect mint condition, and had that rare mix of eye appeal and scarcity, went up for auction, and it didn't sell for $10. Or $100. Or even $1,000, but that coin sold for a stunning $48,000. Yes, you heard that right. $48,000. For a coin minted just 2 decades ago, a coin you could very well still find in circulation today. This is why collectors, historians, and casual hobbyists alike continue to search through jars of coins, coin rolls, and old pocket change. Because once in a while, lightning strikes and a 5-cent piece turns into a small fortune. So the next time you get change from a store, or you're rolling up coins to cash in, pause for a moment. Take a good look at that nickel dated 2003 with the P mint mark. Because if it's the right one, you just might be holding your own little piece of treasure. Thanks for sticking around. If you love learning about coins that are worth more than anyone expects, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you never miss another hidden gem. We've got plenty more stories of rare finds coming your way. Until then, keep checking your change, and happy hunting.